Okay, so have you ever heard someone tell you to toughen up?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah, it's like we're all supposed to just power through whatever life throws at us, you know?
Right. Just kind of grit our teeth and like ignore the pain.
Exactly. And just keep going no matter what.
Yeah.
But I was reading this book, Do Hard Things by Steve Magness,
Okay.
and it really got me thinking that maybe we have this whole toughness thing wrong.
Interesting.
Have you ever felt that pressure to just be tough, even when you really just want to take a break?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like society's expectation or something.
Oh, yeah.
We should just be able to handle anything.
Yeah.
But Magnus has this whole different approach.
Okay.
He calls it intelligent resilience.
Intelligent resilience.
Yeah, and he breaks it down into these 4 pillars.
Okay, I like pillars.
Ah.
I'm all about a good pillar.
Yeah, so ditching the facade, listening to your body responding instead of reacting,
Okay.
and transcending discomfort.
Those are good pillars. I like those.
Yeah.
So let's start with ditching the facade. I feel like this is something we can all relate to. You know, like we're all trying to project this image of strength,
Right.
even when we're like falling apart inside.
Totally.
I remember this one time I was leading this huge project at work,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a total disaster. Everything was going wrong.
Oh, no.
But instead of just admitting that I was in over my head, I just kept putting on this act.
Oh, yeah, the I got this act.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
But really, you're like sweating bullets?
Oh, totally. I was a wreck.
Yeah.
But I felt like I had to keep up appearances.
Yeah, I get that.
So how does Magnus say that we should be approaching this?
Well, he says that acknowledging our weaknesses,
Okay.
that's actually the first step to real strength.
Okay, so it's kind of like the opposite of what we normally think.
Exactly.
We think we have to hide our weaknesses to be strong, but actually it's the opposite.
It's about being authentic and real, you know, building genuine confidence instead of just pretending to be invincible.
It's like that saying, you can't fix what you don't acknowledge.
Exactly.
So true. All right, so the next pillar is listening to your body.
Yes.
And I think this is something a lot of us struggle with because we are so conditioned to just push through discomfort.
Right. We're told, like, no pain, no gain.
Yeah, exactly. All that stuff.
But sometimes that can really backfire.
Oh, absolutely. You can end up burned out or injured or both.
So how can we get better at recognizing the difference between, like, good discomfort and discomfort that's telling us we need to stop?
Well, he uses this analogy of training for a marathon,
Okay.
which I think is really helpful. Like, if you're sore after a run, that's probably okay.
Right.
That's just your body getting stronger. But if you have like a sharp pain,
Yeah.
that's your body telling you something's wrong.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's about tuning into those signals and knowing the difference.
So we have to be able to, like, decipher our body's language.
Exactly. It's like learning a new language.
Speaking of responding, not reacting.
That's the next pillar, right?
Yes.
And I am so guilty of reacting instead of responding. It's like my default mode.
What do you mean?
Like, especially in stressful situations, I just blurt out the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like, why did I say that?
We've all been there.
I remember one time I was in this meeting and a colleague just totally like blindsided me with this criticism.
Oh.
And I just like snapped back at them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was not my finest moment.
I feel that.
Later, I was like, I wish I had just taken a breath before I said anything.
Right, because in those moments, it's like our emotions are hijacking our brains,
Yes,
and we just react without thinking.
exactly.
But if we can just pause for a second, even just a few breaths,
Okay,
it can make all the difference.
so we're not ignoring our emotions.
Right, exactly.
We're just giving ourselves a chance to like process them.
Yes, and then we can respond from a more thoughtful place.
Instead of just like exploding.
Exactly.
So what are some ways that we can get better at pausing before we react?
Well, there are a lot of different techniques,
Okay.
like deep breathing,
Okay,
or even just counting to 10 in your head.
I like that.
It's like hitting the pause button on a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get to reassess the situation before you hit play again.
That's a great analogy. I love that.
Oh.
Okay, so on to the last pillar, transcending discomfort.
Yes.
Now this one sounds a little bit counterintuitive.
Yeah, it does kind of go against everything we've been taught, right?
Right. Because we're always told to avoid discomfort.
Exactly. But Magnus is saying that discomfort is actually essential for growth.
So it's not about avoiding discomfort.
Right.
It's about like leaning into it.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that discomfort is often a sign that we're on the right track.
Okay.
Think about learning any new skill. It's always going to be uncomfortable at first.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if you let that discomfort stop you,
Yeah.
you'll never get better.
So true.
It's in those moments where we push through the discomfort Okay.
that we really grow and learn.
That makes me think about all the things I've put off because they just felt too uncomfortable or scary.
Right.
Like, what's one area where you've been playing it safe?
Oh, sure, Manny.
And what could you gain by, like, stepping outside of that comfort zone?
Yeah, that's a great question to ask ourselves, I think.
What I'm realizing is that this approach to toughness that Magness is talking about, it's not about becoming some kind of emotionless robot.
Right.
It's about understanding our emotions and our limits and making choices that support our well-being.
It's about being intentional with our resilience.
I love that. Intentional resilience. Okay, so to recap,
Okay.
the 4 pillars of intelligent resilience are ditch the facade,
Yep.
listen to your body respond instead of react,
Mm-hmm.
and transcend discomfort.
Yes.
And these aren't just like nice sounding ideas, they're
Right.
actual tools that we can use to build a more resilient life.
So here's a question for you to think about. How could embracing this approach to toughness change how you tackle that challenge that's been looming over you,
Ooh, that's a good one.
or that difficult conversation you've been putting off?
Yeah, that's a powerful question to consider.
And if you want to learn more about this whole idea of intelligent resilience, we highly recommend checking out Do Hard Things.
It's a great book.
It's packed with practical strategies and insights that can really help you transform how you approach challenges.
And remember,
True toughness isn't about brute force.
it's about intelligent resilience.
Exactly.
I like that.
Until next time,
See ya.
bye.